Just going to assume we're broadcasting right off the bat because it's really hard to tell with YouTube. I say that every time, but it still is very difficult. Just pressing a few buttons here, just doing a check to make sure we can see Halo 3. Very good. And back again. I'm going to kill a few windows here. So I have the video window playing for that one there. That's good there. I can minimize this. All right, we are ready. Welcome back. This is part 5, I believe, of how to remake a remake. Avalanche. This episode is called Sticks and Stones or Trees and Rocks. So while we were gone, before I recap, while we were gone, I think I showed you last time that I set my pieces up so that I don't have to go digging through menus and I can eyeball pieces to see how they fit. So I set these all up here, and we made our steaming stacks of ice out of 3 of these, and I only knew to use those because I picked it here and found this piece that looks similar to the originals. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and done that for everything I can possibly use on this map. You'll see my piece count is now at 519. This is actually kind of a nice thing because I have all the pieces out that I could possibly use. Here are the terrain banks in 4 sizes. I put the warthog on here so I can get a visual representation of the actual size of these, so I don't go grabbing a piece that's way too big or way too small. And as I said before, in forge mode, it's really hard to tell how big an actual piece is when you're placing it or when you spawn it, and this will help me do that. So these are flats. Oh, right, too. These pieces are banks, but they're also one of the flattest pieces. If you flip them over, like the bottom of this right here is what I use for the bottom of the Avalanche style griff ball court. It's 4 of those flipped upside down, or 6 of them, I think. Or maybe it was this size. I can't recall either. Yeah, it might have been the biggest size. So they're very, very flat on the bottom. Flats are not flat. See, flats are kind of rounded, and the bottoms are sort of flattish, but not as flat as flats. So flats aren't flat. Remember that. But these are nice in some areas where we want a nice gentle hill. We'll use that as the nice gentle hill. The next piece are the ramps, and these are one of my favorite pieces because they do have a nice slope to them. And if you don't like the way the slope is, you can tilt it up a bit to make it a bit less of a dramatic angle, or a little bit less of a hill, let's just say. I always keep my terms as simple as possible, but so that's hills. Slope helpers are great because you can use them to fill little corners where on corners and things like that. But they're great because you can let me just respawn one of these. Is that you can just use whichever piece of it you need to help you with that type of slope. That's why they're called a slope helper. Because you can use the tops, the bottoms. You can use this part here, and same with the other side. So they're very versatile for filling in gaps between the other big pieces. The next are the hills and bowls, which are the same thing, but the bowls are the same pieces, just turned upside down. But they are still separate items in the menu. I don't know if I'll be using very many of these, but if we find a spot for them, we'll definitely use them. All of the pieces I've spawned, including all of the pieces over there, have their light map or light bake turned off. so that I don't have to go through and turn off all my light baking later. I just spawned all these pieces, selected them all, turned light bake off on them. The way I do light bake is I see my light map's only at 18% with all of this stuff spawned. What I typically do is leave light bake off while I'm forging and only turn it on if absolutely necessary. In certain areas that aren't lit properly, I'll try turning it off or on depending on the piece, and then see which looks best. These are my other pieces that I'm going to be placing. I'm going to try placing as many of the ice pieces in over terrain pieces. I'm only going to use terrain pieces where absolutely necessary, because well, here, let me just fly over here. These pieces just look, whoa, way out of the map here. These pieces just look so much better and so much more natural, and I'll be able to find places where these fit nicely. So I'm going to be using a combination of the two, of the terrain and of these, but I'm going to try to use as many of these as possible. Get out of there. So I'll just go through them all. These are the rock chunks. That's the second largest, third largest, fourth largest, so they kind of go down in size. I think that's the big one there. Yeah, the big one there, I had to put it off to the side because it was just too big to, when I had it over there, it was outside the kill volume. So I also like to run around on them to see if they're the shape that I want to use for the spot they're going to be put in. But these have, you know, several sides that you can use depending on where you want to put them, and they're huge. Let me just show you an idea of what this looks like. Where'd it go? I spawned it and I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I'm just going to throw this in the middle of the map so you can see how big this is, and how much ground you can make with just one of these pieces. See, here's the base, and there's the man cannon out front. So you see that you could pretty well get away with just using 4 of these on this side of the map. Of course, you'd have to fill in bits and pieces where they go, like where the 2 pieces meet. You might have to patch a few holes or smooth out a few bumps. But see what I mean? You get the most bang for your buck using these pieces. It's one piece. It counts as one piece. They're pretty good on performance. They don't really add a lot to your physics budget, and they're nice and bright. They have a nice bright snowy look to them. So we're going to be using a lot of these, a lot of the biggest pieces we can, a lot of them to try to keep our piece count down so that we can use our budget in other areas of the map, like decoration, and making sure that we don't have to skimp on things like spawns or gameplay items, because I just won't do that. So that's what I was up to before. I have another look at these. These are the pieces I'm going to be using for building. Pretty well discounted every other piece. Maybe there are a few odds and ends I may have missed, but when I go to build the structures, these are the pieces I'll be selecting from to make the Forerunner structures. There's obvious things are missing are the bridges, stairs, blocks, the other primitives, cylinders and rings. But those are all things that, you know, they're already up here. I know exactly what they look like and exactly what size to pick. But these are all the other pieces that I think may have a place somewhere on the map. It's just a matter of finding a place for them. So that is what I've been up to. It's not much, but it's just, oh, look at that. it would have been kind of boring to do all this on stream, so I didn't bother. It's just you learn just as much just by seeing the end product. And once again, I placed each of these on the same plane, or in this case on floor pieces, and put a few warthogs here just so that you can get a good sense of scale, because if I just need a small piece, I don't want to grab this and find out it was too big. But once this warthog is beside it, it gives you a much better sense of scale. Just so that when I look at things from the other side of the map, I can just eyeball it from here, saying, okay, that's the piece I need right there for whatever I want to do. So today's show is going to be another boring show where I do measurements and place rocks. But it's absolutely important, because the boring bits like this are what makes your map stand out when someone comes in and they recognize the map instantly as the exact same layout as the original Avalanche, because all the rocks and all the trees are going to be right where they remember them, and they're going to be the same basic shapes, the same basic structures, the same layout. The driving routes are going to be the same. Of course, it's scaled differently. We've been over that in every video, but it really helps with remakes that people instantly recognize and remember all the good times they had on the original map just by seeing your new map. So we're gonna keep everything. As far as the terrain goes, I think I went over that before, but I'm going to explain it a little further right now. As far as the terrain goes, this map is going to be the exact same location as the original. But as far as the Forerunner structures go, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than that, because a good thing to represent it is if you watch the original Star Trek series and you look at the bridge and how it was designed and how it was laid out, and then you go to the Next Generation and how the bridge was designed and laid out, and it's completely different. Same as I forget the other Star Trek that only lasted a few seasons, that took place like it was the first Enterprise. It looked more modern than the subsequent ones. So what I'm trying to say is that the structures for this are going to be the Halo 5 version of Forerunner structures, not the Halo 3 version of Forerunner structures. So what we're going to do in that case is we're not going to go into the Halo 3 map and replicate it wall for wall and texture for texture and piece for piece. The geometry is going to be exactly the same, but the look of it is going to be more of a Halo 5 look. So one of the shows, the upcoming shows, once we're done the terrain and placed all the trees and rocks, or the trees are placed, but put everything to where we're happy with the terrain, and when we start to go in on, so 2 or 3 shows from now, and we start to actually build the Forerunner structures, we're gonna do one show where we just run through the campaign to Forerunner levels, and we're gonna take some pictures so that when I'm building them, I can actually post them to show you what we're gonna do. We're going to replicate, or not exactly replicate, but make our structures look more in tune to the Forerunner structures that you would see in Halo 5. So that's where this map's going to be different, in that this is the Halo 5 version of Avalanche, not the Halo 3 version of Avalanche. Obviously, but it's going to look like it takes place in the same place, just with updated structures. So that's my plan for this. That's going to be, as I said, a few shows from now. We're going to go, I like to call it like we're going on a shopping trip for furnishings for our map, and seeing what types of structures we can replicate to make the bases. The big structure that's going to be behind the base, which I'm going to be saving a considerable amount of budget for. The central area, like, I may use these platforms, or I might find something better, but the central area and this hallway the hallway which is right here in the game, there's a hallway, like a curved hallway. We're gonna find a different way to do that. And the, where are they? These, the teleporter tunnels. They are going to be kind of the same thing. They're going to be basically the same as they were in Halo 3, but they're going to have more of a Halo 5 look to them. So that way it's not too jarring going from the base to there. It's going to look like the same type of structure. Some of the problems with here, I'll switch that we're going to run into, and we'll have to figure this out as we go. Let me switch over here. Component. Switch over to Halo 3. I'll switch me over to Halo 3. Some of the problems we're going to run into that I spotted are this piece right here. Now, why is this piece a problem? Well, this piece is a problem because you see how you can see... Here, let me do this. Just going to get my second controller over. It's easier to spot. Because I don't know if you can see it properly on the smaller screen or on the video. But you see the problem here is the top screen can see the bottom player, but the bottom player can't see the top player. See, that's one-way visibility. See that? So that might be hard to replicate. I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to do it with glass and lighting and have a reflection coming off of it so that you can't see in. But I'm going to attempt to recreate this as much as possible because I think this was done on purpose. And it's not just this spot here. It is also the ramp. Here, let me move this guy forward a bit. You see, you can see players above you on that ramp, but the player on the ramp cannot see the player sneaking up below. So, as I said, I'm going to try to, I know we don't have one-way glass, but I'm going to try to replicate that. I think you can do it with, if you use glass and have a light shining on it, you're going to get a bit of glare, but I think that's okay because that's probably how I'm going to try to do it. Is I'm going to try to bounce some lights off this to make it, the top player is going to have a bit of glare so they really can't see the player below. I don't know how well it's going to turn out, but... oh, and this too is I think this part you can see through as well. Let me just verify that. Where is that? No, it's not too. That part's good and thick. So yeah, you can't see through there. So that's going to be in an upcoming show, and if you want, just wait a week or two and just skip straight to it from this point, because the rest of this today's broadcast is going to be, or today's stream is going to be a little dull because we're just measuring rocks and placing them. But as I said, it's something that needs to be done. Before we do that, we noticed that the rocks that we placed on the other side, there's another one right here. It's a little bit different than the ones we placed, or the ones that are steaming on the other side, but they're similar enough that I can copy the same one. I'm not sure if that's one. No, we'll just be using a rock in the place of that. But and these small ones are similar to the ones that we're going to be building today. So I think we'll just place this one first, and we'll just use the same ones that we used on the other side. for this one, or maybe not. Maybe not. Let me just see. I'm just gonna have a quick look at this and see if these are the similar piece on the other side, and if that's the case, then we'll just build it from there. I'm gonna try to use. Yeah, that's it there. That's the piece that's on the other side. So I won't copy the ones I made today. I'll make a whole new one for that. These ones are a bit of a concern because they are. See, the tops are the same as these, but they're not as big. They're slightly smaller. So I might have to make two different types. See, I don't have the ability to scale them down like they did. See, that's exactly the same as that one there. It's just scaled down. It's a completely smaller piece, but it's the exact same structure. We don't have the ability to do that, so we'll just have to find a different way to do that. So that's next, actually. That's right now. So we're going to figure out how to make these pieces. We already have this one. We already have this one. So see, they're almost the same size as this one. They're just a slightly different shape, so that it's not all the exact same pieces all the way through this. So let's do that right now. I just want to eyeball it one more time. Right, this one right here. No, I already have this one. It's this one here. Okay, that's it there, but you know what? The one on the other side was bigger, so that'll give us an idea of the maximum size we're going to need. So it's going to be the same size as the other ones, just a slightly different shape, and I'm going to try to make it narrower if I can. Yeah, there it is there. It's nice and wide on the bottom, kind of narrow on top. So that's the one we're going to try to replicate. So let me just switch everything back over. And let's see if I can spot that in the video here. Right, let me switch to the other screen. I don't want to forget to do that today. Come on, where is it? I think it's earlier in the film. Yeah, here it is. It's coming up. I think this is on the wrong side. Oh no, it's the right side. It's here somewhere. I'll find it. There it is right there. Yeah, that's the piece we're looking at right there. So it's very similar to the other one, but I'm going to try to make it with 2 pieces rather than 3 to try to save on my piece count. So that's the screen. Yes, it's the one on the picture-in-picture. It's the one on the far right. That's what we're going to be replicating now. Okay, switching. I don't have to switch anything. I'll just leave that on. Just checking a few things here. Make sure my stream's stable. 28% CPU. Oh wow, dropped a few frames. That's odd. Well, hopefully that's not a problem. It's only 0.5% drop frames, but I usually have 0 drop frames. So you know what? Maybe that was just from switching. Either way. Let's go make that piece. This is the other one we made. Oh right, I deleted it. You see, I don't need to keep a copy of this up there because I have tons of these that I can use. So I am actually going to copy that just so that I have it as a point of reference. And it might be easier if I just duplicate it again. Yeah, I'll duplicate it again, and just rebuild this into that. So let me get rid of that piece there because I don't need that. And these don't steam, so I don't need the steam. And as I said, I want to make this with one piece rather than two. So let me get rid of that second piece there. Okay. Now, I do want these to be taller and narrower if possible, so I might just do this. I might just simply put a cap on these. So let me try that first. I might just try to keep that piece. Oh, never mind. That's the same piece I'm using. So, duh. Get rid of that. Yeah, so that's one piece there, right? Okay, good. I'm ready to go. All right, so this was the piece I was trying to duplicate. There we go. And we'll just see if this fits on top of this. If it doesn't, we'll find something else, but yeah, I don't think it does because you have to bury it so deep to get the parts to line up. Now you can see the bottom of it, and that looks kind of silly. So yeah, not that. I'll try that. I think we're onto something here. But I'm just going to try the other ones just to see. Ooh, you know what? Let me try that. No, the first one was definitely better. That one looks too obvious. So let's just try that one again. Yeah, this is definitely the one. I'll try to match up one of the planes. I think that has the look we're going for. Wish that lump wasn't sticking out the side. Actually, I wish it was a mirror image of itself, and then it'd be perfect. But see, we got that crack to line up there. That plane lines up. That looks nice with that. The only part I don't like is the way this pokes out right here, but maybe just tweak that a bit. So I really want to make it look natural and blend in with the other piece. So as many of the lines that match, the more lines that match, the more natural it's going to look. And see, that's nice. That crack is like perfect right there. Just want to make sure it looks natural and not like it's two pieces mashed together. Looks like the rough sides are on the same side. Some of those lines might line up, some don't. Yeah, that blends together fairly well. Maybe just a touch. No, I think this plane has to line up. It's the only way. There we go. I think that's it. Yeah, I like that line there continues from top to bottom, so just get rid of that little nook there. And then make sure I haven't overdone it here. And there's our B pillar. Nice, so let's lock it down. Let's put that, oh wait a sec, make sure the bottom's right. No, the bottom isn't right on these. Yeah, something's wrong here. The bottom should have been sticking out. It wasn't on those. Oh, right. That's why. Because this piece was placed higher than that. That's all there is to it. Okay, not a big deal. The other ones are still right. You see, the other ones stick out the bottom. That's what I was trying to get at right there. So just to where they would intersect with the ground is about there. And as I've said before, I can raise and lower it as I need to. So this is 2 pieces, so that's nice because these ones are 5 pieces. Actually 4, because I'm going to be removing the hill markers that are on them. So group that. So there we go. There's our next pillar. And as I've stated before, I'm just roughly positioning them now. They're going to be twisted and turned and tweaked so they look more like the original eventually, because you see these are all placed exactly the same, and each one will be turned to match the way they were turned in the original, in the Halo 3 version. So I know there's one there. Oh, sorry, not there. I know that there's one here, and I know that there's one here, approximately here. So I'll go measure those, and yeah, I'll just go measure those to see how they look, and then we'll come back. Hold on, I have a message. Nice going. Yeah, okay. Just taking care of some cartographer business. Done. That was simple. Just reading a message. Okay, so switching over to Halo 3 to take my measurements. Yeah, I'm just confirming that there's only one on this side. You see, those are the smaller ones. That's the smaller one. That could be one there. It's just set into the ground a bit deeper. Yes, it is. That is one there. I can tell by the smiley look to it. Okay, so there's one here in front of the base. There's one over here. I think that's it for this side. These two are the smaller one. Or not. No, they are the same, but it's just the top of it poking through. Okay, so this is actually good news because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the ones on this side are all the same. And these, I don't care if they're the same or not. I'm going to be making them out of a smaller piece anyway, so because they are a bit smaller. So 4 on this side. Yeah, and that's the smaller one. See, I don't want to make it so that there's only 2 different pieces, you know what I mean, on the same side. I want them to look a little bit different. So 1. That is one of them too, but that's deeper as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 we need for this side. And 1. 2. No, you know what? I'm just going to place the larger ones because, as I said, these smaller ones I can make out of it's similar, but I'll make it out of smaller pieces rather than take those 2 big ones and bury them. Okay, so what are we at? 4 on that side. So 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, the other ones are slightly smaller, so I will make them out of smaller pieces. So 7. Good to know. Okay. I'm going to start measuring, and I will start... Yeah, I'll start on the other side. So they're all within... No, I'll start with this. Let's start with this one here. Just for 1 sec, I have to flip pages on my notepad. Nice width. Size, bottom. Top, bottom, width, depth. Excellent. Here we go. Hold on. We're in for some exciting measuring. Yeah, start with the one that's nearest the base. There it is. put this where I can see what's going on. Looks good. Looks bad. There we go. And the bottom looks fine, I believe. Oh, that isn't actually measured. Okay. So the bottom is bottom 72. Right on my lap. 72. 175. Oh, sorry. Width 175, depth 1300 or 130. Okay. Next one, is it past the center? See, if it's past that center mark, I can't measure it with this one. Well, you know what? I'll just actually, I'll do that one first. That looks good. That needs work. And the bottom. Oops. Need to work on my juggling skills. Well, that's 2.5 there. That's 3. Let's say 2.7 or 27. So bottom is 27, 425, 465. No, 465. Now, of course, when we do the refining on this map, we're going to be tweaking these slightly so that we get the proper line of sights, because this one here, not sure if you're aware, but this one here is to block the line of sight from here to, how do you zoom in Halo 3? Right thumbstick? Oh, there we go. I found it. You told me where it was. You see, it blocks the line of sight right here. And then it's not until you pop your head out that you can see it. So it forces you to be, if you're shooting at someone that's at the top of the base, it means you're slightly exposed here. And there's another line of sight. I can't remember. Anyhow, we'll be tweaking these by making sure that the line of sight exactly matches this map, so that when we pop your head out of this point here, the base is going to look exactly the same. So that's something to concern yourself with later. Right now we're just roughly placing it in as close to the position as possible, and we'll tweak its position a bit later. Okay, so the third one is this one out here, and I'm just gonna see if this measuring stick can go out far enough. Yes, it can. Look at that. So I'm trying to do this with my palm here. There we go. Okay, and width, bring that in. There we go, I think that's about right. Yep, that's good enough for placing it. It's good enough that way. I just have to see what the bottom can be a little bit lower, so I'll just go 72 on the bottom. Once again, as I said, it's all going to be tweaked once we get the terrain in place. 72, width 240, depth 540. And I think that's it for this measuring stick, because the other one... Sorry, where is the other one? Yeah, the other one here. Still can't decide if I'm going to use the same one. Yes, I am definitely going to use the same one. Yeah, this one will not reach that measuring stick, so we're going to have to go to the other one. So that's the 4 that are on this side. So let's go measuring it again. So we went base, hill, man cannon, and the one that's at the ramp, we're measuring it right here. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to max this out to 60. I like the shortcut you can take. There we go. There's the shortcut. So it's this one right here. Kitty, what are you doing? Stop licking that. And just going to see if that's a good position. A little bit shorter. Perfect. Way shorter. And set the bottom. I'm guessing it's going to be 5.5. Oh, look at that. So close. Just a wee bit lower. So 557, let's call it. So the bottom is 57. Width 235. Depth 515. That's it for that side. Let's go place them. So let me just set my controller down where I won't lose them. Cat, you cannot play with my controller wire. Yeah, it looks like my drop frames are only at the beginning. It hasn't, the number of drop frames hasn't gone up, so hopefully this recorded well. So, where am I? I'm spun around here. There we go. These are the pieces I'm placing here, right? There's one there. So let me just approximately put four approximately where they go. Make them float up in the sky. Other one is by... Oh, I already put one by the man cannon. Okay, so there's one by the base. You know what? I just realized I think these are turned. Yes, they are. So let me just select all of them. And my main one. I'm going to reset their positions. Yeah, they were set to a 15-degree angle, and I want them to be a 45-degree angle. There we go. Back to normal. That's all it takes. So, 1, 2, 3. Oh, right, and there's one up the hill. So there's one up the hill here somewhere. So, what was our numbers again? I'm on the right screen here. Yes, I am. Length 175. Depth 130. Or sorry. Yes, width is 130. Oh, I forgot to switch my chat over. Sorry. So if anyone's chatted and you think I'm ignoring you, that's my bad. I haven't set my iPad so that it doesn't turn off. I'll do that as soon as I place this piece. I'll fix that. So I don't want to be ignoring people in the chat. I wish I had a producer to help me with this stuff. Hint, hint. Someone who can push all the buttons for me so I can just forge. Next time. 130, 175, bottom 72. Forging go much quicker now. I just had my second cup of coffee. Right, gotta make leave my boundaries on so I can see what I'm doing. There's the next one there. Hold on. Let me just roughly place it first. There's one. I'm getting into the habit of saving after everything I place now. 2 was the one up the hill. Oh, I'll know when I see it. I forgot the order already. Whatever, I'll set the measurement first. No, I think it was the one to the left of the base. No, it wasn't. It was the one up the hill. Yeah, I'll know by the bottom measurement. Okay, so the bottom is 27, so it's obviously the one up the hill. Bottom 27. Length is 425. Maybe I can do this and set the iPad at the same time. No, I'll place it first, then I'll fix the iPad so I can turn my chat on. 425, and the width is 465. There we go, my iPad will not turn off now. Let me get this first. Can't do two things at once today. 425. Oh, sorry, that's not right. It was 465. There we go. 465. So that's this guy right here. There we go. Now, let me get my chat up. There we go. Holy crap. The chat's been busy while I've been away. Let me do this first. There we go. Lord of Blazes wants to know my GT is Run, Knockyard Run. All one word. Oh, I get that. Monster Productions thinking about using the one-way blockers with the dark side. That's a possibility. I'm wondering if decals do the same thing. I know decals change the visibility of things, but I think it doesn't. I don't believe it goes both ways, or I believe it does go both ways. Okay, I'd say goodbye to Monster, but he's already out. Right stick if I'm playing on default. Thank you for the chat. I hear a kitty. Yes, you hear a kitty. That's my kitty. Barth is here. Hi, Barth. Hi, Overdose. Where are the man cannons at? The man cannons are right here. The man cannons are already measured and placed and ready to go. But where are they? There they are. Placeholder man cannons anyway. See, man cannons are functioning. I haven't measured the height of them yet, but I'm actually going to be placing invisible man cannons because I want to have 3 of them like on the original game. So I'm going to make sure that the arc height exactly matches the other game type, so you aren't flying too high or flying too low. So there's the man cannons. The middle ones are right here. This is the one over the chasm in the middle. And as you can see, there's my chasm. And they go both ways. So the man cannons are placed, which is nice. Anyhow, where were we? We were on block number 3, which is the one that's over here, and the size is Oh wait, I haven't gone through the text yet. Yes, all this measuring, yes. Halo Maths Edition. Yeah. But it's required for doing remakes. If you want to do a remake properly, it's got to have the same dimensions. You can't just have it look the same and then play differently. You have to get everything working right, just like the original. Okay, where were we again? We were on this piece here, measuring for the third pillar. So the bottom is 72. Yes, unless you're making a map from the different game. But here's the thing about making a map from the different game. If your intention is to possibly get your map into matchmaking, it can't be from another game. Because there's, lawyers. Because lawyers exist. 72. Width or length is 240. So let's cut that in half. .240, and the width is 540. Yeah, it's fine making maps without the intention of putting the matchmaking. That's there's nothing wrong with that. That's for sure. There we go. I more or less do that just so that I can keep my standard up high. If I go in thinking that the map's going to go into matchmaking, I don't assume that it's going to, but I build it up to a standard that people would expect from matchmaking. And that way you've already set your standard high to begin with. You're not just going to slap together a map and say, oh, here's Avalanche. You're going to go in thinking that someone in the game might be looking at this map and saying, hey, let's consider this for matchmaking. As I say, I don't build for matchmaking in this case. I'm building for you, but I want to keep it up to matchmaking standards so that there's no shortcomings on this map. Width 540. Did I hit that? I hit 540. So let's go place that other piece here. There it is there. Now, in the case of this one, it's actually lower than the natural terrain, but that's okay. I'm still going to measure the height just as we did the others. So I'll do that first. And then let's grab it again and then move it into position. Now I don't have to worry about this block. If it disappears, I don't care, because I'm just going to do a select all and delete them all when the time comes. But that's not going to be for a long time, actually, because I won't be deleting these blocks until I feel that the terrain is complete. Then I'm going to go in and delete all these blocks. But until such a time as I feel the terrain is complete and 100% ready to go, they're going to stay. Just because you need them for measuring. So you don't have to remeasure the same spot over and over again. Or I should say, right now these are more for visualizing. And in this case, I don't really have to worry about it because this is natural terrain here. So this piece here it's fine where it's at right now. I believe if you look at the original, and I think the picture-in-picture shows it. Let me just see. Yeah, there's a bit of, well, you can't see it in the picture-in-picture on the upper right-hand corner, but there's a bit of a dip behind it. So what that means is that there's going to be a little bit of a hill. Yeah, you can see it by the base of these trees here. A little bit of a hill is going to come up on this side of it, and then it kind of extends over to these trees here. So it does raise up a little bit above the natural terrain, but that's okay. I already think that I'm going to be using this piece here for that. Which one is it? I think it's this one here. You know what? I'm just going to plunk it down right now to see what it looks like. There it is, way up there. I also realize that if I go under the map and respawn these pieces, then they end up in the right position. If I do it from up here, see, this isn't the finished one, but this is kind of the idea. This spot here has got a bit of a hill to it like this. And that's kind of what I planned on doing. So instead of terrain, I'm going to use the rock chunks because they more closely match the natural ground here. If you put a terrain piece in, yeah, sure it matches, but these just look so much better. You know, they got the chunky snow on one side. So that looks a little more like it would fit here. Anyhow, that's tomorrow's broadcast, or the day after, one or the other. Once I get all the rocks in place, that's when we're going to start placing stuff by hand. No more math involved. Once the measuring's done, no more math. I promise. Yeah, that is a problem with, you mentioned map stealers. That is a problem with the system now, is that anyone can go into anyone else's file share, grab their map, slap their own name on it. Well, that I believe is all going to change. Hopefully we can build in private, and that's always been the way I've done it, is I've never let anyone see a map until it was ready to play. Like 100% ready to play. Then the testers would see it first, and then I'd publish it when I thought it was ready. But now anyone can just run into my file share, grab this exact map, do whatever they want with it, call it their own. So I'm not really too concerned with map stealing, but I just don't like people seeing my incomplete work in progress, because it's usually sloppy like this and looks like crap. But once everything's done, it can look pretty good. Anyhow, that's that piece there, that piece there, that piece there, and let's go put the fourth piece in place. Just have to find my measuring stick. There it is. Okay, properties. Fourth piece. The bottom is 57. The length 235. I don't think you said you. I'm just going to read the post here. He says, "I stopped making maps until the content browser comes out. Also, I deleted all my current maps, but have them on YouTube." I don't think I would go that far. I mean, if you're worried about a map stealer, this is what I did, and this goes back to Halo 3. Hide something on your map. Hide a signature piece somewhere on your map that they cannot see it going into Forge mode. And in the case of Halo 5, put a piece or two pieces and group them, because when they're grouped, they aren't susceptible to select all. So you can go select all traffic cones and delete, or select all Timmy the Whales and delete. If they're grouped, they don't show up in a select all. So that way you can actually hide something underground or somewhere else. Hide it on your map as your select piece. And if it boils down to the pack where you and someone else is arguing over whose map it is, just say, okay, where's the hidden piece? And they'll go, what hidden piece? And then you'll say, this hidden piece. There, you've got it. That I did that with Griffball High. Someone claimed that they made Griffball High, or they claimed their friend made it, and they invited their friend in. The friend said, yeah, I made this map, and put it into matchmaking. I said, well, you did. I said, well, what about this? And I deleted a piece on the floor, and they said, did you know that was there? And he goes, no, I didn't know this. It was just a patch where there was a bump, and I put a patch underneath. And so he said, no, I didn't know that was there. And so we were standing where the other patch was. And I said, so do you know where the other patch is? And the guy just went, I think it's over there somewhere. I can't really remember. So I looked down and deleted the piece he was standing on. And I was standing on the patch, and him and his friend weren't. And they fell down to their death in... it was in the skybox of Halo 3 sandbox, and they both fell to their death, and I just laughed. We thought it was funny because I knew the patch was there because I was standing on it. They didn't know it was there. They weren't standing on it. So when I deleted the floor, they fell. I didn't. So that was proof right there. Besides, I filmed all that, so that was cool. So that's what I do with map stealers. Oh, and you also sold your Xbox in anger. Hey, I get angry too, but I've never sold anything. Okay, where were we here? We were placing stuff. Right, we're forging. Right, I forgot all about that. Forging here. Length is 235. Oh, there we go. Let's bring that down. 235. Width is 515. Is that 515 or 575? That's 515. $235, $515, $57. Oh, nice. You're getting the Gears edition with the Gears Elite controller. I don't know if you played with the Elite controller, but they're fantastic and they're great for forging because I have mine set so that the two bottom paddles move me up and down. So it's the A and B button. And the nice thing I like about that is my specific forge layout is exactly the same as what I play with. So I don't need to keep switching profiles. When I play Griffball, I switch to profile B, and all that does is put bomb pickup on the bumper rather than on one of the bumpers. That's the only difference I have. Is I have a Griffball setting, so I can do bomb, so I can like sword someone while I'm holding this, and it puts the ball right in my hand rather than having to run around looking for it and pick it up. But otherwise, I forge and play on the exact same setting, so that when I forge, I can go through the menus with these buttons, and the other two buttons are up. Here, let me just show you. Let go of this. See, up and down is the top paddles, and that makes maneuvering so much easier. When you don't have to change things. Oh, and the bottom thing is your movement speed, so I can go to precision, normal, just like that. So I don't really I only have to take my hand off the controller when I'm going through the menus. Anyhow, let's let's get back to this piece I started to place 4 hours ago. I lost my measuring stick. There it is, right there. So that's it right. That's it down here. So let's set the bottom. Set the bottom here. And save our map. So that's this side done. Let's get rid of the measuring sticks. And let's go have a look at it. So other than 4 different snow pillars, this side of the map is done. And these are obviously turned the wrong way because they should be the thin way facing this base, but I'll fix that later. There's the one up there that blocks the entrance to the cave. The cave entrance is going to be right about here, so that when you pop out, see, same sight line that we had before in the Halo 3 map, where you couldn't see that when you're coming out of the cave entrance, which I should have actually placed, but I haven't done that yet. So that's actually, it's right here, but this blocks it. Anyhow, that's in the right place. That's all that was confirming, is that is actually in the right place. These are a little bit high. They're gonna drop into the ground a little bit more than they are now. Obviously, they're gonna drop down a little bit. or the ground is going to come up one way or the other. But either way, we'll get all that sorted. Oh, right. This is where the ramp comes down right here. There's a ramp that comes down, and that's sort of at the base of the ramp or near the base of the ramp. And these trees, as you can see, are on that ramp as well. So all that's coming in the next few shows. So we're going to go to the other side and measure the 3, I think, or 4 that are on this other side. And I've already kind of placed them. I wish I hadn't done that now because right, that one's next. So we'll do that one next. So I'm going to switch you over back to Halo 3 and take some more measurements. You had a scuff controller. Nice. Okay. Never had an Elite, but you have an Avenged 7-fold LE scuff. I almost bought a scuff controller. I had it ordered online when I rebuilt the computer. I also had the scuff controller. And then I heard about the Elite controller coming, and I thought, well, I can get the scuff right now, or I can wait to see what the Elite's like. And although the Elite was more expensive, I really like it because the scuff uses the standard controller, and if you see the drawer full of old Xbox controllers I have here from each game that I don't use anymore because I don't like the thumbsticks on them. I love the thumbsticks on the Elite. They're about the same as the Razer Onza, maybe a little bit more of a spring to them than the Razer Onza controller I had that kept breaking 5 or 6 times. It broke, but it was under warranty, so I got it replaced 5 or 6 times. I like the thumbsticks best on that. It was the best thumbsticks I've ever used. As I said, the 360, the Xbox One Elite controllers, they're the same quality, but they're sprung a little bit tight for my liking. I like a little bit less spring, so I had wished the spring was adjustable. But otherwise, the sticks themselves are made of metal, and they feel exactly the same now as they did the day I bought it. So I'm really pleased with them. You have 30 broken Xbox 360 controllers. Yes, I'm in the same boat. This is what I replaced the Razer Onza with. It's one of the ones that's lit by LEDs. It's sort of like a toy, but they're actually not bad controllers. The thumbsticks on them are a bit tight, but they're good. It has not worn out in the slightest. It looks like a toy, but it's just as solidly built as the original, maybe more so. And I use it as a nightlight, so it's great. Yeah, here, hold on a sec. Where is it? There we go. See? It's obnoxious, but it makes for a good nightlight if I'm gaming late at night or doing remakes late at night now. So where were we? Oh, right. We're in Halo 3. I don't know why I'm still using the Xbox One controller. Let's focus. Let's get this done, okay? That's a good idea. Let's get this thing done. Get rid of the picture-in-picture. Since the Elite has custom mapping, can you have full Halo 3 controls with no sprint and stuff? I believe so. You can map them so that the buttons are all in the same places, but you can't like get rid of sprint unless you remove it. But the easier way to do that is to remove it from the game type settings. That's the best way to do it. Is you just go into the game type settings and remove the features that you don't want. So let's get to measuring. Oh, I know what the problem is. The problem is I can't see Halo 3 because I don't have my screen switched over. There we go. I just want to verify that I have all the right buttons pushed. Keep second guessing myself because the last 20 minutes of one of my broadcasts showed the wrong screen. So we're on the right screen now. We're good to go. Okay, we are measuring. We are on the wrong side. Let's go over here. We are looking for these pieces here. So there's one in front of the base, one up the hill, I'm going to call this one too. I'm going to be embedding it down, but or is that the same as the small ones? No, it's a bit bigger than the small one. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's the same number as the other side. Almost the same, not the same positions, but yeah, there we go. Let's just do the same thing. We'll do the one nearest the base first, which is this one over here. I just want to make sure I have the right ones placed here. Oh yes, I do. That's the steaming one that I placed that the other day. So I'm not, yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna set up my measuring devices here. Yeah, can't forget this one. This is another line of sight blocker. From the bottom of the door. See, that blocks from the bottom of the door up to there. And this one kind of does the same, sort of. See, when you're here. When you're up here, they can't see you from inside the door. So that one's kind of important as well. This one's already placed because I think this is one of the ones that's steam, so that one's already been placed. So let's this is the next one here. Oh, right. I got the wrong controllers selected here. There we go. There we go. I don't know why it was set to cylinder, but okay, going for a closer look. Bottom's pretty close. So let's just say that one's 72 as well, same as the one on the other side. Which I know is right because I'm going to be placing the exact same terrain in front of each base so that getting in and out of vehicles it's on a very nice smooth surface, and it's going to be the same on both bases. The last thing you want is to have a bumpy area where the vehicles are, because you're going to get people jumping in and immediately upsetting their vehicle, or they're going to be coming in for a flag run and tipping over in front of the base. I don't want any of that. I want the fronts of the bases to be nice and smooth and exactly the same on both sides. So when I measure the pieces, I'm going to have them mathematically exact on both sides of the bases, so that doing flag runs is fair on both sides. So the bottom is 72. $16.5. Actually, that's probably... in between. Let's go 16.7 or 167, which is the width is 167. And same with the depth. Let's just go a little bit higher on the depth. Let's go 120. $124 on the depth. Okay, that's that one. That's it for this side, right? Yeah, because that's just a small one. These ones are rocks that I'm going to place later. Oh, it's a small one, small one, small one. Right, this is the next one up here. Okay, what do we got? Okay, that looks good. Where are we at here? Bottom, let's say 280 or 28. Width is 385. Depth is 375. Can't remember if we were going to call this one a large one or a small one. Let's call this one a large one because it's on a hill and it's not going to be as small as these ones here. So that one's almost right on the center line, but you know, there's another small one here, but yeah, that's a small one. Yeah, this is the and this is a one that has steam, but there's no steam coming out of it. We'll fix that too. Yeah, we're gonna call this one a big one and just use the top half of it. Yeah, that's a small one there. Okay, so we're gonna call this one a big one, only because it's on a hill. Let's pump this all the way out to 60, which is the maximum. Oh, good. It's a bit smaller than 60. And let's see what the bottom's like. It won't matter because we're going to be burying this one a little deeper, but so that won't matter. But just for positioning purposes, we're still going to match the map. So there we go. Let's say 65. So the bottom is 65. Width is 270. And the depth is 575. And I'll actually write so that I can read it later. Okay, the next one is this one right here, and I think that's the last one, right? Because that one's done, that one's done. This is a rock. Rocks are next, by the way. Yeah, so it's this one right here by the turret at the exit to the cave. And we're gonna use the other measuring stick for that. Which is, oh, there it is up there. You asked what the configuration I had for the Xbox Elite controller. I can't remember, but I know that the bottom paddles are A and B, and the top paddles are... okay, let's put it this way. My bottom paddles when I play the game are sprint, slide, jump, and Spartan charge or whatever, the evade maneuver. No, sorry, melee. So anything that you do with your feet in the game are on the paddles. So this is the way my Elite controller works. I'll show you this after, but when I'm in player mode, these are my feet, okay? And the right are my right weapons, and the left are the other, like grenade and zooming, and so that it's all segmented so that these are my feet, this is my gun, this is my grenade, and it helps clarify things in my head that way, that all my movement options are on the paddles. So I just treat the paddles as my feet in the game, and that's how I move. And coincidentally, they line up very nicely with forge controls, like very nicely. Okay, so right, let me just quickly measure this, and then we can get back into Halo 4. I can show you that when I'm in Halo 4. Okay, so where were we here? Width is obviously much shorter than that. I should have lined this up with over here. Get out of here. Just eyeball that to make sure it's sort of centered. Sort of centered. Very good. Okay. And the bottom. We're going to call that 3. I think. Let me just look at it from over here. Yeah, we're going to call that 3. It's a little bit lower, but that's okay. That whole thing's going to drop in a bit anyway. So, that's 3. Bottom's depth. Yes, that's 3. 327. 327.3. Yeah, I just have to write that down. Bottom is 30. Width is 270. Depth is 30. All right, let's go into... Let's switch everybody over, including myself. What you buy me? Let's switch everyone over to Halo 5. There we go. Just checking to make sure we switch. Good to go. Good to go. Okay. Still doing rocks. Or sorry, still doing ice stacks. I haven't even got to rocks yet. Rocks are next though. And I'm going to be doing rocks one at a time because they're all different. So I'm just going to place them all individually one at a time. And I'm grabbing all the wrong controllers. Let me just put the Halo 3 one out of the way. Okay, let me just show you what I was talking about. Okay. Bottom right paddle is sprint. Upper right paddle is Spartan charge. Upper left paddle is jump. And bottom is crouch. And the reason I like that is to slide, you use the bottom two paddles. See? Bottom two paddle slide. Sprint, jump, charge. And what's the other one again? Jump. Sorry. Jump, slide, sprint. Anyhow, all the combinations you can do with your feet are on the one paddle. Left trigger is zoom. Left bumper is you know, grenade. You know what right trigger does. And so you see what I mean? There's the right trigger, right bumper are the two things you do with your gun. You pull the trigger and you punch with it. And also ground pound is on a bumper, which I like because, well, you know, the main reason is that you don't have to take your hands off the thumbsticks no matter what you do. And it just gets so intuitive. Oh, and the other thing I did is, I don't know if you can see it, I'm going to push this really right in close, is I flip my bumpers. I flip my bumpers, or my paddles, so that the top one is up rather than down. And it fits your hand much nicer when you do it that way. See, your fingers just naturally fall right onto it. And the bumpers, the paddles themselves just fit right under your fingertips perfectly. I found when I had them the other way with the long one facing down is I would constantly be accidentally hitting those paddles because they were just in the way. But now they're out of the way and they fit naturally on my hands anyway. I don't know how they'll fit on yours, but they just feel so nice. Anyhow, let's play some stuff. Let's get back to what were we doing again? Foraging? Right, I'm going to undo something I did the other day. The other day I moved this block down because I needed to see what was going on up here. Actually, you know what? I'll leave it down now. I'll fix that later. So, let's get back to measuring. The one in front of the base is the next one. The position is bottom is 72. Length 167. I'm going the wrong way. Length 167. And width is 124. And I know that it's on the left. Hold on. Let's turn on our tool settings, display boundaries, all. There we go. This is the one right here, right? There we go. Yes, this is the one that is the line of sight blocker for the front door from the platform. Let's turn Z fighting on so we can fine-tune that. I haven't saved in a while, so I'm saving. Okay, the next one is 28. Sorry, the bottom is 28, so it's obviously the one up in the hill. 28. Length is 385. Hi, Gus. Gus is a Griffball map forger. 385. 380. He is from Brazil. And he speaks pretty good English. But I was in a party the other night with him and his Brazilian friends, and he was the only one who could speak English, so he was translating everything, all the questions his friends had for me. Where are we here? 385 by width is 375. $300, $350, $375. Okay. And I already have that one over here, so it's just a matter of tweaking its position. Huh, I nearly had the bottom of it set right. Oh, wait. Yes, that's the right one. I was a bit confused there. I saw the other marker and I thought I was using the wrong one. I confuse myself very easily. Okay. Next one. Next one, bottom is 65. Width is 270. Oh, sorry. Length is 270. Bit mixed up because the Halo 3 is turned 90 degrees to this map. $270, and width is 575, so almost double. There's 500. $575, so 270, 575, and 65 on the bottom. There we go. And did I already place one of these? I don't think I did for this one. Oh, that's right too, because I didn't even know it existed at the time. So I will just duplicate that one. I think the odd thing is that I'm placing these more accurately than I measured them. So I don't know how effective that is, but everything's going to be tweaked in the end anyway, so. Did I just say tweaked in the end again? I did, didn't I? So let's go to the other side and do the one that's over here. And that one is much smaller than this. The bottom is 30. Overshot that by a good bit. The length 270. And the width is 30. So like way smaller. You like how my head is centered in the radar? Yeah, it took a bit of fiddling to get that right. Come on, hurry up. I can't wait for Halo Forge PC when hopefully we can just punch in these numbers manually and things just go exactly where you want them to go. All the way down to 30. So we're at 30, 270, 30. And I think I see a problem already. Oh, you're right. It is very close to the other one anyway. This one will definitely have to be... this one will definitely have to be tweaked. I don't know why it keeps letting go when I duplicate things. Yeah, because this one is going to be kind of embedded in the other one once it's done. Oh wait, it's on the left side, isn't it? Yes, it's on the left side, so it comes over here. Okay, so it's not too bad. You see, they're pretty close in the game, but I keep saying we're gonna be tweaking these eventually. Hard to see which mark it is. It's this one here. Let me do the base of it first. And is this one or is it this one? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... No, I'm not. I'll just suffer through it is what I'll do. It's the outer one there. And it's the inner one here. That's perfect. That's perfect-ish. And it's going to drop down a little bit, so it's obviously more of a gap in the original map than that. So that will be tweaked by hand later. Actually, I think they both get dropped down below the terrain, so that there's a bit of a gap there. I don't recall them being that close, but probably because these pieces they're a little bit fatter than the ones in in Halo 3, because ones in Halo 3 are narrow in the middle and wider in the side, where these are just wide all the way around. But either way, if we have to tweak them later, we can. And if I have to even rebuild them so that they fit better, that's not a problem as well. But this as I said, this is what we're doing now. Is not so much that we're placing these blocks. Well, we are placing these blocks exactly where they go, but it's more that the red boxes are going to dictate where the ground is going to go, where the bottom of our terrain sits. So now that we have all these, here, let me turn the, did I do them all? Did I do all four? Yes, I did all four. So that's it. So let's save the map. Let's turn off our boundaries. Save it again. I explained it 2 videos ago, but what the main purpose of them doing these the way we did is these blocks indicate the level of the ground, so that when we start laying out our terrain, we get a better idea of where everything goes, because we can match it up to the base of these blocks. So when we get our terrain pieces, let's just, here, let me get underneath it and duplicate it. Let's say this is the piece we're going to use, and this is the area it's going to go in. We know that the ground the lowest point matches up with this. So that will help us visualize where all these bits of terrain are going to go, because we have a point of reference so that we can look at Halo 3 on one screen, look at this on the other screen, and we don't have to guess at how high the ground actually is, because we actually have a measurement for it. Well, and hold on, in the case of this, it's the middle measurement, because it's where the 2 lines intersect. So it's okay to have this sticking out like this, as long as the center of this piece is correctly lining up with the ground. So we know that the ground in this place, in this spot, on this line right here, is exactly the same as where it would be in Halo 3. So that is going to help a lot, because we aren't going to have to measure any of the terrain. Maybe a few highlights here and there. There's a few places where there's banks, so I'll be measuring like one corner to the other, so we can kind of get the banks, the snow banks, all in the same sort of place. So there is going to be a little bit of measuring, but it's just going to be kind of as we go along. It's going to be much easier on this side because there's more points of reference with all these trees. Some of the trees are going to be dropped down, some of the ground is going to be raised up, but either way it's going to eventually all more or less match where these are, because these trees are all measured in the same way, and they're a little more accurate because it's a smaller point of reference than the big blocks on this side. So we actually have more points to go by. Another thing we could have done, and in any other map I probably would have done it this way, but what we could have done is we could have, say, made a grid pattern of these measuring sticks, and we could have set it to 10 by 10, and then 10 by 20, then 10 by 30, then 10 by 40, and that each 10 we would place a column which lines up with where the bottom measurement is, and that way you're actually, it's the same as making a grid pattern, but you're using these marking posts, you know, like the same way property marking posts are used, to show you exactly where the terrain is on a grid pattern. But I don't think we need to do that on this map, because there are so many points of references to go by, and everything you see right now has been very accurately measured. So when we start to lay our terrain, which was going to be after we do the rocks, so you'll probably hear me say this exact same thing 2 or 3 more times, but when we go to lay our terrain, we have all our visual points of reference mapped out, and we can just do it all by eye, and so we can do what looks best, and know that we don't really have to measure that much. There's going to be a few issues here, like you see this thing here, this tree is this is natural ground. I didn't place this, and the tree is lower. That's okay. We'll just tweak it all to make it fit. So there we go. That is all the big stacks placed. Now I guess we can go in and do the smaller ones. Yeah. There's just a few of the smaller ones to do. A few, probably 16, but let's go look at that. So that's the smoke. The steamy ones are done, and the large ones that don't steam are done. So it's just a matter of putting in the small ones now, and so let's go look at that. What we're gonna do though is we're gonna measure one just to see which is the best piece for it, because I have a feeling that if I take this and just put it in the ground, it's going to be way too big. So we might have to make it out of some three skinny pieces like this that are melded together. I don't know. Let's go take some measurements and have a look at the actual size of these things. So switch you over to save this. Switch you over to Halo 3. Okay, I just realized my monitor is stretched, so let me fix that. That looks better. Let me just, yeah, the monitor was stretched, so it would change my visual plane of reference. There we go. So I have it set to wide so that the 3x4 screen fits nicely on it. Okay, so I'm just going to find one of these, and I'm going to find one of the bigger ones. Great, there's one right by the man cannon here. Wait, let's see if there's a taller one. That's more important. That's about the same. It's going to scoot to the other side. Wish you could fly faster in Halo 3. Just to see if there's any that stand out on this side. I already have that one. I have that one. Yeah, there's another one. Maybe that's... Yeah, it's about the same. They're all about the same. So I'll just go measure the one by the man cannon out here, and we'll use that as our reference. See, I already have this one, this one, this one. So there's the other small one that's going to be placed. Anyhow, let's measure this one here. And I'm going to use I'm going to use the other controller to do it. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to measure there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plunk down a respawn area, and I'm going to actually set it right on top, if it'll stay. Come on. Nope. You know what? I'll just float it. And I'll look right down at it. Actually, I'm going to float it right on top because I want to be able to measure the... I want to be able to measure the top of it as well. There we go. Like I want to measure the maximum height. So let's set the top to 0. There's our height. I increase the width a bit so I can actually see the bottom. So the maximum height is only 30. Okay, so height 30. They're 30. And they're kind of looking like they're approximately 10 by 10. Around there. 10 by 10, give or take, because they're odd size. So 10 by 10 by 30. Wish I could just... I have an idea. It's not a good idea, but it may come down to this. Okay, 10 by 10 by 30. Let's switch back over. Okay, so gameplay volumes, named location volume, top is 0, bottom is 30, width is 10 by 10. And instead of bringing the pieces to this, we'll bring this to the pieces. So you just put this beside the Warthog for perspective. That's the maximum size of it. Now you see the problem with the columns in this game is they're also freaking huge. You know, I just realized too, I could probably swap a few that I placed out for these, but I don't really like the looks of these because they just look like 3 rocks stacked on top of each other. And I believe I can actually take these pieces over here and remake that, and I believe that's what they actually are. But did I just bet myself? Now I have to see if it's true or not. No, they're slightly different. They're pretty close though. Maybe I just have it turned the wrong way. No, they are different. Kind of the same though. Anyhow, that's I'm interrupting myself here. we're going to find a piece that fits this. So far, no luck. Kinda, but no. Kinda, but no. So whatever are we going to do? I just want to try something. Now, I'm not going to do this, but I just had a thought. But let's just see what it looks like. It's probably going to look really stupid, but let's just try it anyway. Eight by 8 by 32. It's either the right size or the right shape, but they don't look natural, that's for sure. They definitely don't look natural, but here's my thinking. Maybe we can turn them into something. They have the same effect. I'm probably going to just scrap this idea, but I'm going to think it through first and see if I can talk myself into it. And then talk myself out of it and scrap them. But for now, I'm thinking that if we can make them part of the structure and just have them as pieces that are popping out of the ground, who knows? But I would rather, much rather, have piles of snow like the original. And I really hope it doesn't come down to having to use these. Maybe we can think of something else. But there's an option we'll stick in our back pocket for later. Until we find something that that's more suitable. That's an option for later. Everything else is just too big. Now the other thing too is none of those are really line of sight blockers. They you know, maybe you can hide behind them, which is probably which is a possibility. So maybe they just don't need to be as tall. You know what I mean? Maybe they can look like, you know, the sun was out a bit, they melted a bit, and maybe we can get away with this instead. Okay. Wait. Sorry, I got the height wrong here. So as you see, they're not even half as tall, but you can still hide behind them if you need a little bit of cover in that one spot. So maybe we'll do that. it's only one piece count for each one. Really easy to measure them, put them in place. Maybe I can bolster the height of them a bit. Let's make a snowman. Looks kind of dumb, but maybe we can make it work. Let me turn my rotation snap down a bit. No, you know what I would rather do though? I think I would rather do this. See, we want to increase the height, but we really don't want to increase the width. Now I'm just doing this to line up the angles. Then I'm going to embed it. What do you think? I think we have a winner. Maybe embed it a little more. See, I don't want it to look like it's a slice sticking out. Maybe we'll put it on this side. See, now they become clamberable. Not that it really matters. And the nice thing about this is I can make each one of them slightly different by adjusting the height, by spinning that. And by turning the whole thing. So I think they're going to give us the same effect as the other ones. They aren't going to look the same, but as far as how they function goes, they could be good. There's another thing I didn't think of. So I didn't know how they would look, but oh, they look dumb. That's why I didn't use them. There are a couple of these that are kind of embedded in a hillside, so it's probably gonna how I'm going to do that. Is there's a few of them that are like right resting up against the hill, so I'll have to remember to do this piece for it here. So they look the same. Anyhow, that's for tomorrow's show, tomorrow's stream. Okay, so I was going to say I was going to delete this idea and consider it deleted. That was a bad idea. But it did get me thinking about other pieces. So this is one of the possibilities. This one here. I'll place it just as it, you know what, let me ungroup it first. I'll make this look a little more natural first of all. And then I think I just have to tilt that a bit more. This is the piece I'll use. I will, hold on. Bear with me, I just have to put it back together. Because I had it offset. I want to have the base one, I want to have it not offset. Nothing, just seeing what you're doing. Thought you were still forging. Well, that's the base one anyhow. We'll take them and adjust them from there. But for the small pillars, that's what we're gonna do. Good call, whoever suggested that. I just want to see if there's any other that are like that. No, just that one, that one, that one. And everything else is just too big. Too wide at the base, I should say, not too big. So there we go. So it's two pieces. They've got the nice terrain. And I'm going to mix them all up so they all don't look like the same pieces repeated everywhere. I'll make each one of them look different, embedded a little bit deeper, and change the top part. But for the most part, this is what we're going to use for the smaller pillars. And I don't have to set a block with each one of them because they come with terrain built in. So I'll just measure where the rock intersects with the ground itself, and let's go from there. So let's go back to Halo 3 and take some measurements. I almost want to do it by eye, but nope, I have to resist. There's more math involved. Let's go do that. Hold on a sec, I just realized I haven't had a drink of water since I started this, and that's not good. Your voice, you'll lose your voice after a while. Just a little sip. Teresa Tafola, hello. Welcome, if you're still watching. Sorry, I didn't notice you. I didn't notice you posting in the chat earlier. Too focused on my math. What are we doing? We're switching over to Halo 3. We're taking some measurements. That's what we're doing. I really hope that this is the last show where we do measurements only, because it's just, I find it boring, but it's completely necessary. Wait, I switched me over, but I didn't switch you over. That's not good. There you go. Welcome to Halo 3, everybody. Switch me over. And I'm going to throw up a new page on my notepad. Bottom width depth. Length and width. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to measure all of them. And we'll go by quadrants. So let's start. Yes, we will start on the icy side and work our way back around. So I can get rid of this one. Get up, find my other, there it is up here. And let's go find some things. There's the one I was telling you about that's leaning up against the wall. You see what I mean? It's so I already have a piece just for this. Okay, so let's measure all the small ones. I'm just going to spot them all first. So we have 1, 2, 3, And see, this is why we have to make each one different. We can't put two of the exact same thing beside each other, because you see, it'd be really obvious if you did. Because this is actually the same piece as the big steaming ones up here. But they've scaled it down to about 3/4 of the size, which is cheating. See, it's the same piece, it's just way smaller. That's cheating. So, so that's what I'll do. I'll measure all these. And what I'll do is I'm going to go this quadrant, and then the next quadrant, and then out there, and then in there. So I'm going to go around the horseshoe counterclockwise, and I'm going to go from let's go from right to left. So I'm going to start with this one right here. I think I already measured it. No, I didn't. So here we go. Measure this one first. Right, the bottom. The bottom, actually, I'm going to go a little lower. So the bottom is 65. Bottom width is 135. Depth is 455. Next one is, oh, I don't know if I can reach these ones, but let's try it. Okay, so one, I can, not the other one. And the bottom, there we go. Puppers. On Xbox One or PS4? That's a very good question. We're playing Halo. That should be a pretty obvious answer. Okay, so this one, the bottom is the same. It's a 65. The width is 90. And the depth is 590. We can't reach this one, so we'll have to measure it with the other one out there. I already have this one there, so this is the next one here. Wait. I already did that one. So the next one, or I should say the last one, is this right here. Because I already did this down here with another one. So the last one is this one right here. So the width has to increase significantly. Like around 40, I'm thinking. Oh. Let's see what we got here. Just a little bit longer than that. There we go. And just a bit less on that one. So I'll just measure it a bit bigger. And the bottom, it's on the hill, so it's going to be up here. Okay, so the bottom is 25. The width is 390. And the depth is 490. Yeah, let's go 391. 392. As I said, we're going to tweak that later. So that's it for... Yep, that's it for this quadrant. So we're going to come back and measure this one with the other stick. But you know what? Yes, let's just keep the same pattern. That way I don't get confused later. So I'm going around in a circle. From inner to outer, and now I'm going from outer to inner. So let's go find our other measuring stick. Same deal, we're gonna go around counterclockwise, and I think in this one there is only one to place. That's this one here, because I already placed the 3 on the hill. You know what, I might end up replacing... No, I won't. You see, yeah, it's going to take quite a bit of tweaking. We're looking at this earlier. These are the 2 that are really close, and see, you could actually drive a hog between them. But so yeah, these are going to be requiring tweaking, and I might even have to custom make these. So the ones I have are good for now, but we're going to have to rework them later. So I only have to measure the one on this side, and that's this one here, because I already have this one, I already have that one. There's no more hidden back here. Yeah, so it's just the one on the other side. So this is going to be pretty easy. Or sorry, it's the 2 on the other side, because we still have to do this one. Oh right, this is the... I'm using the wrong controller. This is the one I use for measuring. If I can find it. I know it's around here somewhere. There it is. Actually, let me go the other way. My shortcut that I can do on this controller, but I can't do on Halo 5. Okay. So the bottom is 71. That's pretty good. Yeah, 71. Width 135. Depth 590. So there's one more on this side, and then we'll go place them in Halo 5. And here it is right here. I'm gonna guess around 30. Nope, way closer. There we go. And check the bottom. Lowest point. Okay, bottom is 66. Width 75. Depth 190. And that's it for this side. So let's switch over to Halo 5 and place them. There we are. So this is what we're placing right here. Looks nothing like it, but it'll have to do. So, first one. Right, I should measure first before I go grabbing them. First one, bottom 65. Bottom's already 65. Length 135. And width 455. So that's the corner right there. See, it's such a huge difference in the size between the two. But kind of disappointed we can't make them exactly the same, but you know, every map's going to have some kind of compromise in it. Unfortunately, that's what it is going to be on this one. We'll make it look good though. To say this is mostly for placing the terrain, and that looks nothing like what the original looks like because this one's too high and that one's too big and that one's too small, but we'll make it look good in the end. Next one. Next one, bottom is 65 as well. The width is 90. Sorry, the length is 90. And the width is 590. Yeah, so it's the one just past the man cannon. Okay. Next one, the bottom is 25. It's the one up in the hill. Halo is only available on select editions of Wii Sports. Pre-order now. Sure. Sounds legit. I mean, it barely runs on the Xbox One, so I'm just kidding. It runs fine. 25. The length is 392. Way out there. 392 by width is 490. $490, 392 by 25. That's it over there, right? Right. Ah, it'll do. Next one's way out here. This one is... Bottom is 71. Length 135. Oh, are you watching me over there?
Yeah.
Why aren't you helping me over there?
Well, you seem to be doing fine on your own.
I'm doing fine on my own. Yes, I am. I'm about to fall asleep, though. This is so boring doing this part of forging. Nothing exciting. There's very little brain work. It's just a matter of measuring and slamming stuff down. So, what were we at again? 71, 130. Where are we? Bottom 71. Length is 135. Oh, I did that. Sorry, width. I was going the wrong way. Width is supposed to be 590, and I was making it smaller for some stupid reason. It's supposed to be making it bigger, and I'm making it smaller. It's all your fault. Well, I'm going to have a nap. Let me know when I get close to 590. Are we at 590 yet?
No.
Should have said, oh, it's behind the other one. Ooh, so close, so close. It's like fast forwarding on the TV clicker, right? Yeah, they don't look too obvious, exactly the same, but I'll make them look good. For right now, oh wait, this has got to go lower, right? Because this one is lower. There's a bit of a hill there. Okay, one more to place on this side. Then we're nearly done. Just have to place the ones on the other side. And then our stacks are done. Then there's rocks to do, but thankfully there's not very many rocks. There's just a few rocks strewn about. And I'm going to be doing those individually. So, bottom, 61. 60, sorry. Length, 75. Width, 190. Isn't that where I started? Yeah, I should have placed the other one first. Whatever. Keep it in order. Less chance of confusing ourselves. You didn't tell me to stop.
Well, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, okay. I don't expect you to. Don't worry about it. Okay, so that's that one. And let's group and dupe. And that one was right, whoa, right here. I'm going to turn this one now because I know I'm going to be having this one face this way. Save it and have a look at it. Yeah, we could almost play a game on it right now, couldn't we? Yeah, the only one that bothers me is that, because in the original one, that one's smaller, that one's bigger. They're almost the same size. So if something bothers me that much, I might go through and just custom make each one of those. I mean, eventually. For now, there's no need to do that, because right now, as I said, this is all just set up for when we do the actual terrain. All these rocks could change eventually. Some of them will be exactly the same. Most of them will just be turned so that they're facing the right direction, so that the shark mouths you see in each one of these, see the shark mouth that you see on each one of these should be facing different directions, and I'll get them to match the directions that they're each facing in the original, because Bungie cheated too, and they just reuse the same piece just like I'm doing. It's not really cheating. That's making the map more performant. So, where were we? We are doing the small ones on the other side, and then we are done with the stacks. Yes, because there's just a few left to do on the other side. Let me just grab one and bring it over. And I'm just going to place it on the man cannon so I know where it is. Save this and switch over to Halo 3. Take some more measurements. Okay, to the other side. Okay, these are the ones I was commenting about earlier. These are the two that look so vastly different. Well, they're not that vastly different. I think once I get this ramp built up and put this one up on the ramp, and then this one's going to go a little lower, yeah, it won't look too bad. That won't look too bad once it's done. Because this ramp is actually one of the built-in pieces I'm going to use for it. One of the rock chunks is going to fit perfectly in there. And it's going to have a nice warthog ramp right off the end of it. Right about here is going to have a nice ramp. But then again, it's got to go both ways too, doesn't it? So, as I say, I'm going to match the terrain as closely as possible. The paths should all be about the same. The driving path should be pretty similar. CTX8 invited me. Sorry, don't do that when I'm streaming. Next time. My next stream might not be this build. My next stream might be helping other Remake forgers get their maps ready, or it will be helping Griffball forgers get their maps ready. So anyhow, let's go finish this sucker up. What time is it?
It's 2:49.
2:49. Oh, I'm still doing good for time. Not too bad anyway. So let's spot them. That one's done. That one's done. There's a small one here, and I think it's past center, isn't it? Let's. I think they're all past center, which would be good because then I only have to use one measuring stick for the lot of them. Let's see. That's the line right there. Oh, some are, some aren't. Same as the other one. So either way, let's. Yeah. So the very first one could be either of those. So what I'll do is I'll just grab the. I'll just see which one's within range of the base side measuring stick. Yeah, I'll just max it out to 60 to see if any of them fit in. Okay. Well, not this one. This one's borderline. There's none up here. I already have this one. There's none in front. I already have this one. So let's just say none of them. I'll just put this one on to the other one. Okay, very good. So let's just go to the other measuring stick and we'll get them all from the same one. There you be. Bit itchy. Got a little bit of sun yesterday. Okay, in this case, I will go start in this corner, and I'll go around counterclockwise. No, that's clockwise. My clock is digital, so I get confused. Yes, I will start. I already have that one, so I will start with this one. So that looks about right. That looks about wrong. And the bottom. Okay, the bottom is 67. 67. Width 120. Depth 575. I'll call this one the same. Actually, one's up a little bit, so I'll say this one is 66. It's a little bit higher. So this one, the depth is 600. And the width, I don't think that was right. No, it wasn't right. The width, 85. Okay, next one over. Little guy here. And this will be an interesting one. But we'll measure it to the bottom here. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one because that one, it's on a, yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, you know what? We'll just measure the terrain in front of it later. I'm going to do that one off camera. I'm just going to go around and place some pillars down for measuring like I mentioned earlier. But that's going to be really boring, so I'm not going to show that. Okay, so width. Depth. No, let's do the bottom first. The bottom is 76. Width is 205. Is anyone bored yet? I'm bored. I don't get bored. Depth 590. Where's the next one, Oracle? Oh, you switched it off. Thanks. You're so bored you left.
No, I just switched it over because I thought you were on the other end.
Oh, you thought I was on the 360. Oh. See, my TV is set up the same way. It's on the same switches that the capture card is. I can switch my big screen TV over from the 360 to the Xbox One just as easily as I switch you guys over. They're both on switchers. I have a digital switcher for the Xbox One and an analog switcher for the 360. So it's kind of nice to be able to do that. I think that's it, isn't it? Did you see any more? I don't want to miss one. I don't see any more. I just see those three. None over here. No, that's it. We're done with stacks. Yay. So let's go place those three. Ugh. I need a bigger table. Or a more organized table. One or the other. Oh, did I... Oh, I'm an idiot. I left it on. I did it the wrong way. I left it on. I left it on Halo 5 the whole time I was talking there. Well, imagine in your head that I was measuring stuff in Halo 3. And just as I do that, I almost lost connection on my controller. Well, so that was one mess up. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as the last time. It was just for 3 pieces. So let's go place them. They're all on this measuring stick right here. So the first one, bottom, is 67. Oh, just so you know, I'm just about done here. 67 for the bottom. Move my mouse. The length is 120. So if you have trouble sleeping during the day and you need to have a nap, just tune in and I'll put you to sleep. 67 120 by 575. I just have to find the bottom of it. There's the bottom. Good enough. You know, this is natural terrain, so I'm just going to bump it up to where it's supposed to be. Because I can't make it any lower, right? Because that's natural terrain. Okay, so the next one is very close. The bottom is 67. Bottom, oh sorry, bottom is 66. And it's 80. The length is 85. And the width is 600. And as I stated earlier, this is the odd one that's on a hill. So I will probably not be using this one in this place. But I will be using this to at least measure as my measuring stick for the visual reference to where the hill is. And I know I can turn this one because that's about where it is there. And it meets the bottom of the terrain there. And I will not be raising this one. I will be... Well, you know what? I have to because... Yes, this is the bottom of a hill here. So, yeah. This side will be the bottom of the hill, but there's a bigger piece up here, which is going to be... Let's just say... I think I did this earlier, which is like this piece, I believe, fit there. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. You didn't see it a few minutes ago in Halo 3, but see, this one's kind of like so. That's kind of what it's like. Not exactly, but going to be something like that when it's done. Okay, one last piece and we're done. We're out of here. I'm going to put a disclaimer on this video. Please do not watch this one. Because you won't learn anything other than the few little stories I told in the middle of it. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you've got this far, my apologies. Bottom 76. Oh. 76. Length is 205. Oh wait, maybe this is the... Yeah, this might have been the one I was placing earlier. Sorry, the one I just showed you. I think this is actually the one. 205. Too far. And the width is 590. Yeah, this is the one that sits over here. So, you know, this is fine as it is. This one is where the hill is. Let me find the bottom. Oh, it doesn't matter where the bottom is. The bottom is where the bottom is. Yeah, this is the one that's going to have the hill beside. I was wondering because this shouldn't interfere with this ramp. So this is where the final ground is going to be for this ramp that goes up to the man cannon. This is the one that has the hill. All right, the lines are in the middle. And this is the one that's going to have the bit of a cliff behind it. Not a cliff, a snowdrift. Okay, let's save that. Let's have a look. Tool settings, turn off my boundaries. And let's have a run around. It's starting to look very Avalanche-y. You know, using a great amount of imagination, but on the original there is a hill that leads up to here, so that's kind of nice that it's here. Actually, on the original, this area right about here is the ice rink, which is right about here. I hope the let me generate lighting. I hope the trees don't pop in and out that badly in the game, like when you actually play a game. Or if I have to turn on light bake to fix it, I don't know. Oh, there we go. I just needed to generate lighting. They're fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yes, it's starting to look a lot like Avalanche. In my mind, anyway. And just going to quickly go look at the other side. Yep, I was getting there. Okay, what I'm going to do next broadcast, it'll either be tonight or tomorrow, is we're going to be placing rocks. And we got quite a few to choose from. There's this one here that's nice. Some of these, I'll probably turn them on their sides. Maybe use a few different ones. These ones here. This one I have a special place for this. I'm only going to be using this in one place unless it's part of a ground piece. But this is a sneaky path up to the right side base. There's a little bit of a trench there, and this is going to be the edge of the trench. So it already kind of looks like what it looks like in game, which is nice. So yeah, next time I'm going to be placing rocks, and we're going to do those one by one. We're going to measure it, scale it, figure out which piece, and place it for each one, rather than doing this because I mean, these have all been very repetitious because they're repetitious on the original map, but the rocks are all kind of I don't care if they're the same piece. We're gonna make it each one look like its own unique rock structure, and even if we just use like the tips of these things sticking through, that's fine by me. And there's also some pieces over here. This one, for instance, is going to be some nice rock pieces because here, let me just embed this in something else to give you an idea of what I mean. There are a lot of rocks that are shaped like this for cover, and they're kind of long. Here, let me put it up here better. I put it up here. There's a whole bunch that are around the perimeter that are kind of like this. And this is, they're just long rocks that are used for perimeter for infantry going around the perimeter of the map. There's a whole bunch of them. There's maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them anyway that I know of. So it's nice that I can just take this one long piece and do the whole thing and make it the size and shape as the original just using one piece. Even though it's a much larger piece, that just means I don't have to patch 3 or 4 different rocks to get the same shape as that. So that's one of the shapes we're going to be using for tomorrow or next stream. This has a nice couple nice outcroppings sticking out of the top of it too. And this one, I doubt I'll use one that's this big, but that's got a really nice rock right there. Here, let me just let me just show you what that one looks like over here. I think I could have gotten away with using that as some of my pillar structures. There. See? Nice. Oh, wrong way. There. That's what I meant to do. More like that. Looks more like a snowbank than a rock, which is nice. So I'm going to be using these in a few areas as filler between other pieces of terrain, because it looks like a nice snowbank rather than, see, and it's good and long, nice and smooth. So yeah, that's so I like these giant pieces. They're going to be used in all different ways other than their natural spawning positions, obviously. So rocks, that's next time on @Halo Forge with @Knockyard. Oh, I'm getting tired. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.